And welcome back to Let's Play Fire Emblem Path of Radiance with your host, Pitmarthroy. The content of Telly is blessed by the hand of the goddess. I think we've already gone over this, so we're going to skip it. I'm pretty sure we have. Chapter 6, A Brief Diversion. A brief diversion. Hopefully it won't be too brief. Blazes, why does this have to be so blamed humid? Nintendo here attempted not swearing. If we weren't being chased, I'd strip off this armor here and now, and the fact that you're a knight doesn't really help, does it? Then almost glad we are being pursued. I suppose you'll have to grin and bear it, won't you? I suppose I will. His face right there. It's enough of your griping. You're merely wasting energy. The subhumans. So yeah, we have different types of... they're called subhumans or Laguz. Laguz is the appropriate name for them. You have the beast tribe, the bird tribe, and the dragon tribe. For the most part, you won't really see much of the dragon tribe until the very end of the game. So yeah, at the very bottom of that map, Tellius, that's where the crows and the ravens and the hawks live. Those are the birds. The dragons are in Goldoa, and then the place we're going to, which is Gallia, is where all the tigers and cat Laguz are. Yeah, what's funny is the tacticians in the games, they're always, like, even though you're supposed to be the tactician, the enemy tactician, or in the older games, your character, the tactician, was always, like, really young, but they're always really good. Like, Soren's kind of the tactician of the group. And sorry, I took a sip of Sprite right there. So some of our group cannot fight if we're caught. We'll have a difficult time defending them and attacking the Dans. So we need to have a force to engage the enemy and buy the main group some time, and the rest of us will escort the princess to Gallia. Yeah, it's pretty much the only way we could be safe. And yeah, there probably is an ambush. So yeah, we have to have the stronger people go away, which would be Gatry, Shinan, and Grail. It's funny that they don't take Titania, but whatever. Oh yeah, they got plenty of men. Hooray for cheesy lines! Ha ha! The Gallia border. Oh no, archers! Actually, they're not the big deal. There's also a mage down there. You can kind of see him. And also a healer, but the healer's not really that big of a threat. He's just more annoying because you get a unit down to low health and he'll heal him. This is a very interesting map in the fact that there are actually a lot of strategies for it. Alright, so here's what we got to work with. You still have to use all your units, so you'll have Ike, Titania, Soren, Oscar, Boyd, and Rise. So you got a pretty decent-sized group here. The clear, you'll notice, is escape. What escape means is you will have to defeat the unit on the square, in this case the boss, and then stand on this square with Ike to escape to finish the chapter. However, other units can also escape, and it gives you a small amount of experience for that. Not really sure why, but it does. So yeah, we got that boss, we got a mage, a healer, couple of archers. Nothing too special. It's just kind of an introduction to mages. This guy's not like a really big threat at all, but he is there. And the boss is a level 2 halberdier. This is a soldier, a classed up soldier. You know, it'd be one of these people think classed up to level 20, and then got 2 more levels. And he's got a short spear, which is kind of like a javelin, but it's stronger because it's ranged. So he's actually got a really good weapon. Fortunately, you'll be taking it, so you probably want to try to beat him with Oscar, so you can just automatically get the weapon instead of having to trade it over. Let's see. This formation actually looks good for once, so we're just gonna have it as is. No, we're not gonna watch the escape tutorial because I already explained it and it's pretty straightforward. Now, there are a lot of ways you can do this. You start off in this huge thing of trees, and the enemy actually doesn't notice you in here, so Soren recommended that you take this bridge right here and then just kind of go over here, and then the units on this side will, you know, just follow. You do need to watch out for this guy. He's got a poleaxe, which will do a lot of damage to knights, so Oscar and Titania need to watch out for that. Let's see. It's kind of ironic that the guy on the horse is using the poleaxe, but no, whatever. I don't think there's anything else terribly special. Javelin, steel sword, steel bow, steel lance, iron lance, Okay, really nothing special other than those 2 things. So you can do that, or you can overtake this side and go over here. It just kind of whatever works for you. We're gonna go over this direction, I suppose. As long as you're within the trees, they won't notice you. But if even one person steps out, they will notice. Because you see, it didn't say enemy face. Or should we up the tutorial now? Is there anything we need to trade over right now? Because if so, this would be an appropriate time to do it. Nope, doesn't look like it. Yeah, Boyd's actually got probably the best movement here overall because he's started on the left, and Soren only gets to move 2 squares per turn. Rise only, I think, gets to move 2 in the trees. Oscar only gets to move 2. So yeah, Ike, Boyd, and Titania will get there long before the other... Well, not really long before, but a while. So yeah, the first couple of turns here are not really wasted, but kind of getting set up and really not doing too much. Okay, we'll put Ike right there. Boyd right there, Titania right there. So right there. Yeah, I know they can't see that, and I know it's stupid. Like, you'd clearly be able to see that, but whatever. I think we're all set. I'm going to go ahead and end the turn so Rise can move again if he needs to. Alright, so now we are all set. We're going to follow the weapon triangle here and attack this guy with a lance, so he won't do that much damage. Now, the hammer is really good against these armored units, but overall, since axes have the strongest power, getting rid of this guy, you're probably going to have to do it with Titania or Boyd. Just for a heads up. The archer is actually really easy to kill if you can just get up to him, because he can't do anything towards you if you're close up, so that's good. I'm going to see if I can get this guy. No, not one hit. Alright. Normally I would not advise against this, but since Titania's got the best shot of killing him without being killed next turn, we're going to stick with this. And the good thing is, since Titania won't kill this guy, almost wouldn't kill that guy. The counter nearly got him there for a second, I thought, but no. The good thing about this is, since she didn't kill him, the guy is probably going to go for Ike. What does he have? Does he have a javelin? No, just an iron lance, okay. So yeah, he's probably going to go for Ike because it'll be easier to get rid of Ike than it would Titania, because Titania's got, you know, better stats at this current point in time, so. Now keep in mind there are units back there on the on the right actually, and they'll come over to the left, so make sure to keep your stuff behind you, the rear guarded, because if you don't, they can get, you know, your healer or Soren or whatever. I'm not sure why that guy didn't go for Ike. Maybe because he couldn't. I don't know. And surprisingly, that archer didn't go for anybody, even though he could have gotten really close. I'm not really sure why he didn't. But hey, I'm not going to complain about it. So weaken this guy with Soren. And since axes beat lances, we'll have Boyd get rid of him. Very nice. And he gets a level up from that, so that's good. Let's see. That's actually a really good level up. I mean, resistance and magic. A little resistance is nice, but don't expect a fighter to gain resistance, because very rarely will they actually gain that. And I do want to get rid of this guy, so... These early stages, believe it or not, are actually more difficult than some of the ending stages, because most of your units are really weak relative to the enemy at this point. So, strangely enough, this is actually more of a don't worry about getting too much EXP, just worry about being more careful with your units. And he's just a Myrmidon, so... Oh wow, I criticaled him, cool. I was gonna say that Myrmidon wouldn't be able to double him, but that works too. And that's not too bad. I like Ike having a really good resistance, because normally, whenever I play through this game, he does not get good resistance at all. And yeah, now you can see those units over there on the left moving, so I'll probably send Oscar back to go get them. Maybe Soren? Eh. How far is this guy's range? He can get Soren from where he's standing, alright. Yeah, we'll just send Oscar over there. He's got a javelin, so I'll just... Oh, he doesn't have a javelin. Does somebody? I guess he wasted it, or used it up in the last battle. I really don't want to do that. We'll just... Yeah, we'll just leave Oscar where he is, and then he'll be able to get him on the next turn. We'll just put Oscar right there. Do a little bit of unnecessary healing right here. There's two ways you can play with the healing right now. You can either just avoid using the heal staff and save it for a later character. And that looks like it'll be safe. I doubt Ike will actually get hit here, but who knows. Yeah, see, look, he shouldn't have gotten hit by that. That was less than a third chance that he'd get hit, but no, he still got hit. Can I get rid of the mage in one hit? Because that mage is gonna bother me. He always bothers me in this level. I don't know why. He never actually kills one of my units, but he makes me feel uneasy. Every time I see a mage this early in the game, I feel uneasy around him. And Ike's probably gonna get rid of that guy. Yep. Okay, good. I was hoping he would, so... I don't know if those two soldiers next to the boss move. I don't think they do, but I could be wrong. I don't want to be wrong, but I think they might. I knew that guy was gonna move, but I wasn't worried about him. Got a vulnerate. Okay, good, they don't move. Because if they had, Ike might have actually died, because, you know, had the disadvantage weapon triangle-wise. Alright, now this is where I'm going to have to play a little bit smart here. Or smarter, that's what Fire Emblem's about. No, don't rescue. Trade the hand axe over to Boyd. You can have the other iron axe. Now, I was going to attack... A second ago, you saw me put Boyd right here, because I was going to attack this guy, but then the boss with the short spear would have attacked me, so that would have been a little bit problematic. So we're going to have to pick these guys off with ranged weapons, or try to, at least, with ranged weapons, so they won't be as much of a nuisance. And if Oscar can't if Oscar can't kill this guy, we'll have Soren do it. Which... I don't want to risk with the Steel Lance, because if it misses, then I'd be in more trouble than if I just didn't kill him. Strength, okay, good. I wanted strength. I would have liked defense as well, but strength and speed, that's pretty good. I'll take that. And archers are actually a really big threat to mages because, one, they're based on strength, so mages don't have a lot of good defense, and two, and this is a lot more important, is archers tend to be a lot more accurate in their attacks than a lot of other units are. Archers are very accurate. For as little damage as they'll do later on in the game, they have surprisingly good accuracy. I'm not going to worry about that healer right now because he's not really bothering me. But since I can't use a ranged weapon with Ike, we'll trade this over, I guess. Like I said, I don't really care if the healer stands there. He's not going to bother me. He wouldn't come over into the middle of the battle, not unless he's crazy. Yeah, I was annoyed by this guy that had a javelin. The other guy has an iron lance, I think, so he'll have to attack close up. Which means Oscar can counter him. And he can't kill him, but oh well. I'm going to test something out here before I worry about it. What's over here? If Soren attacks the guy with the javelin, he'd take 11 damage. Let's assume he got hit. Always assume the worst when you're playing this game. If he got hit, that'd do 11 damage. Alright. So what we're going to have him do is, Soren will probably get hit next turn by the guy with the javelin, but this guy will be dead. And Soren got to level up. Hopefully some defense, maybe? Speed, that's it. Soren always caps out on speed. That's not even that big a deal. And we'll go ahead and use the Iron Lance and weaken this guy. And Soren will probably get hit next turn, which will bring his HP down to 8, but we've checked the statistics. I don't think there's any way this guy can get a critical. He doesn't have any special skills or anything, but I didn't think he would. I don't even think the boss does. Oh no, he's got Serenity. This halves the biorhythm effects. The biorhythm, basically, whenever the marker is high, that little yellow dot, whenever it's higher up, the unit will get a slight bonus, and if it's down the bottom, it'll be a slight disadvantage. And it's different for every person. Like, this guy's got a very loopy biorhythm, and this guy, let's try to find somebody else. I know there's somebody on your team that should... Maybe that's only in Radiant Dawn. Whatever. But basically, it makes you perform not as bad or not as good. So, it's alright. I think Boyd's got Tempest, which doubles the effects. Yeah. So, it's not that really that big of a deal, but I guess if you want it to be, it can. Alright, come on, Boyd. Would you stop missing with the hand axe, dude? You're crazy. The good thing of his, even though he's missing with the hand axe, it's not wasting up uses. If you missed, it won't. If you miss, it will not waste a usage point on there. So that's always good. And Rise got to C with stabs. All right, that's pretty good. Let's go ahead and get rid of this healer, just because we can. That's free experience right there. That's all that is. It's free experience. And level 13 Ranger, very nice. Got strength, skill, defense, and speed, all of which I wanted. I don't care about luck that much, even though it says it does a lot of things. I really honestly don't care. I mean, it does a lot of really small things, but overall they don't add up to matter enough. And I don't know why I killed that guy, just because I could, I guess. Because I want to get this part over. Finally! Yeah, I figured he'd do that. See, that's why I assumed the worst. But this guy will be dead, probably. Yep, because Soren can double him. And he actually got a critical. You don't get that little blue sparks from a weapon whenever it's magic, so that's why. I've not gone over the Trinity of Magic yet, I don't think. I might as well go over that. As you already know, there's a weapon triangle that axes are better than lances, lances are better than swords, and swords are better than axes. Those are ones that everybody already knows. But there's also a Trinity of Magic, and that is within the magic itself. Like, Soren's got wind. You can see he can wield also fire and thunder, but in those three, thunder, fire, and electric, or whatever you want to call it, thunder, fire, lightning, I don't know. I believe this is it, but I might be wrong. Wind beats fire, fire beats thunder, and thunder beats wind, I think. I'm not sure. We'll see it later on, though, because there will be a lot more mages later on, so I'll actually be able to know off the top of my head than what it is. But I don't know what it is right off the top of my head, so... There's also light magic, which light magic doesn't have an advantage or disadvantage against anything, so it's not that big a deal. In other games, there's light and dark magic, and you basically got anima magic as the fire, wind, and thunder magic, and it will be anima is better than light, anima is better than light, light's better than dark, and dark is better than anima. But since there's no dark magic, I don't believe that takes place here. Yeah, he can't critical me, so... He can't even kill me next turn, alright. That's fine. I may just have Ike kill him, but Boyd's kind of low on levels, but I might just have Soren finish that guy off. I know, this map takes a long time turn-wise. It always does, because you gotta be a little bit more careful in this map. But I believe the next one's even worse. The next one, if I recall, has a very irritating map. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and heal Boyd. Alright. Alright, so now we're just waiting for Boyd to actually get rid of this guy. Stop healing! You're crazy, man. I'll just have Soren kill this guy, I guess. Yep, that'll work. Adept, which was not needed, but hey, it's there. And I'd rather heal Soren than Boyd, because Soren's got an overall lower HP than he does. Alright, how are we going to go about this? I don't want to use Titania against this guy, because I want everybody else to get experience. I'm going to go for this, because I know there's no way that this guy can kill me. And this is Emil. Not to be confused with... Yeah, this is Chugga Conroy. This is his face. This is what Chugga Conroy looks like. Actually, there's no E at the end of Emil, so it's not him. Alright, there we go. How about Oscar? What can he do? Not much, really. Oh, wow, we don't want that happening. We'll just attack him once and be off. Because remember, Oscar, after he attacks, he can move backwards because he's a horseback unit, so we can just do that. And we'll end the turn, he'll go for Ike, obviously. The only person he can attack. And being on a rescue square is kind of like being on a heal, or not a rescue square, an escape square, or C's, which you'll see later on, is kind of like a heal hedge. It'll heal you a little bit each turn. And very nice, I got a level up from that, which was HP and speed. I'll take that. I nearly said special. I don't know why I said special. And I got a short spear, which I will trade that over. No, not to... You stop being stupid, man. You're crazy. Trade it to Oscar, which is a very good item for him right now. And we'll go ahead and have the other units escape. I'm going to do some unnecessary healing here for Rise's EXP. Even though after, I believe, the next 3 chapters, you'll probably never see him again after that. Because you get the other healer, and I prefer to use the other healer. Now, if you escape with Ike, remember the chapter's automatically going to end, just as a side note. Alright. You'll notice the music also changed from its normal fighting thing to... I believe this is called Road to Victory. That might not be correct. It is in Brawl, though. You might have heard it from Super Smash Bros. Brawl. It's in there. And magic, skill, and resistance, which would have liked HP, but magic is the main thing mages need and healers need, so that's alright. You'll notice no matter how many levels Rise will gain, he'll always get 11 experience from using the heal staff, and there are other staffs that will give you more experience each time you use them. Alright, Rise will escape. I wonder if there are any enemy units ahead. Not like it matters for Rise, you can't attack them. What's funny is if a staff wielder gets attacked in the sequel to this game, if they're powerful enough, they can actually do damage with the staff. Like, only about up to 3, I think, but you can actually do damage with it. And for some reason, staffs have a really high critical percentage, even though most of the time they won't do any damage. And I've actually killed somebody in Radiant Dawn because they attacked me while I had a staff, and the guy that was using it counterattacked and killed him. There are some very funny stories that I have with Radiant Dawn, and if I ever play it for this channel, you'll hear them, I guarantee you. There's a really, really funny one. So yeah, apparently Grail, Shining, and Gates are nowhere to be found, but everybody else is safe, so... We're going back. No, we're not! We can't leave Mist alone, she'll get slaughtered. Send Titania with her, and then we'll just take the rest of the group. That sounds like a good thing. You're like a couple of old women. However, this does happen at the end of the chapter. Take this with you. This is a men's staff, isn't it? So Rise will get another staff, which is Mend. Mend is basically like heal, except it will heal for more. So it's pretty helpful for if you can't quite get the job done with heal. It does have less uses than the heal, but, you know, still. Alright, so, next time on Let's Play Fire Emblem Path of Radiance, we will start Chapter 7. Since I'm going to do back-to-back recordings here, that's why I'm not going to save on screen. But, I will see you guys in the next episode. Later!